against Austin. So they're going to have to figure out how to get her going again.
Pretty sure she wants to get involved real quick.
Here we go then. Salt Lake on the left side in the yellow, and Nebraska on the right side in the green. It is League One volleyball, and the first swing gets us underway. Kimberly Drevniak gets us going here in the Smith Field House on the BYU campus in Provo.
Gabby Blossom really smart, is getting the first one to the opposite.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot more about that. Drevniak's been up and down this league season. Ronnie Jones-Perry gets her arm going strong, and it is opposites for opposites.
Super great hit, imagining obviously with a great block and a bad pass and still be able to hit to the edges of the court, which is what you're supposed to do.
Ronnie Jones-Perry comes back with the first serve, the 29-year-old, 6 foot tall. Outside hitter, can't get it going, but service pressure is something that Salt Lake hang their hat on.
I mean, they have so many weapons that now they get to choose also. Let's press with our serves to even get more blocks. They have such a great talent.
Salt Lake, a team that averages the most aces per set in the league at 1.64. Here comes Gray through the middle. There's a tickle over, and it does indeed find the floor.
It did land. Nebraska might have to figure out the same thing that Madison did to stay in the match against Salt Lake, which is tip and get this small game going and just make it ugly.
Yeah, I like that. Get the tips going, make somebody play. Serena Gray on her first serve, the 26-year-old middle blocker, gets something going. Jordan Larson on the outside. You'll hear that name a lot tonight. Skylar Fields getting her starting role. Into the hands. There is the big block, but it goes out of bounds. Point Nebraska.
Very good tooling by Drevniak there on the right side. German national team, experience everywhere. In France also, she knows what to do.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The 28-year-old out of Germany played for Nebraska last season, wanted to come back. Said it was one of the good experiences in her professional career. Free ball opportunity. Kojima handles that beautifully. And the line swing for Hoffman, who's starting tonight.
Nice rip down the line. Nobody there for Hoffman.
Skylar Fields looks for Jaylee Winters. That will be a theme here tonight. Dixon denied, and Larson going to the referees with a little question mark.
Very fast, and they needed that point. I mean, the one thing that Nebraska cannot afford is not to be in system and not to pass. They will not have a shot, as we see the replay here on the slide. And it did touch her on the right side, Tori Wilson, then after the block.
Jordan Larson, one of the best well-known names in the world of volleyball. Ball picking up pace. Hoffman goes off the hands. And again, it's the off-speed shots.
And it's incredible what the ones that are doing the off-speed shot is Salt Lake, which is the powerful team. So it's even scarier that they have you in that small game too, and they're going to make it tough on you.
Hoffman, 25 years old, out of Pleasant Hill, Oregon. Played for Salt Lake last season. Similar serve down the line to Winters. And Thader this time on the slide.
Thader on the slide, which is one of the hardest plays in the women's game. Very fast, and then tooling, finding that she only has one blocker.
Thader, a little bit of experience already at 31 years old. Again, returning to Nebraska for her second season. Ball in play. What a pickup. Larson on the defense. Miscommunication on that second ball. Blossom now underneath it. Winters has to recycle her own play, but it's out of bounds. And what do you think about that defense from Larson that didn't convert into an offense?
It's funny because you're playing with your backup setter, so I don't know what happened. It was a very nice defense. Nicely dig. 20 by 10 there, so it should be able to get it. But yeah, somebody forgot to show up.
Yeah, Nebraska having to keep the communication lines open. It's 5-5. Off the net. Winters goes for the tip. Underneath it is Jones-Perry. Easy ball for Rodriguez. Back outside. Winters looks for the end line, and she tags it.
very deep hit, as you can see, to the edges of the court. That's what it says. If you were wondering, there are no doubles anymore unless the ball goes to the other side. So that way it was handled like that, and they kept playing.
Yeah, a couple of changes advancing the game of volleyball. That double tended to slow down play, but now we play on. Gabby Blossom goes for a tough serve into the corner. Kojima has to set. And the block is there, absolutely denied. Drevniak and Carroll together.
That's a great tandem of huge blockers. Carroll being one of the best blockers in the world, and Drevniak being so tall there. So 3 women block, as you can see there. Out of system.
There's that unstoppable force against the immovable object. Keep in mind, that's the theory, that's the theme tonight.
And Gray getting her first kill there. That fast arm hitting towards position 5.
Salt Lake have Jordan Poulter, one of the taller, more physical setters in the league. Tip handled well. Oh, what a turn. Serena Gray, that's the kind of heads-up play you want from a middle.
That's a hard throw, as you can see there. She jumps so high, both hands, and make sure that it was a very hard. Watch how well she got off the net, and she turned.
Out of Penn State, and then Pitt is Serena Gray. Out of system play, Drevniak has to send a softie. Poulter to the right side, and Fields looking for the deep corner, and she gets it.
Finding rhythm now. Poulter with Fields. Very hit down the line. All hits very deep for all those young players watching out there. If you hit down here, you're going to eat it.
And I think you're exactly right. I think knowing how well that Nebraska blocked, surely that was a conversation for Salt Lake coming to this match.
I bet for sure.
Yeah, how do you hit around the block? How can you do something different? Those deep swings, exactly like you're talking about. It's one strategy. Winters looks for Kojima. That's an interesting strategy.
And a net violation on Nebraska. Nebraska needs to start serving harder too. They only have 21 aces in the season. They're not one of the best serving teams.
And what would you say to your team if they're serving on the libero of the other team?
Well, that depends on what the chart says on the libero. When you have great blockers, you want to make sure you can obviously press on their offense and establish your blockers.
Drevniak establishing a touch, and Gray establishing some presence at the net again.
She moves really well, and she jumps with such an ease.
All-American in her college days, but I feel more impressive this year than last year. She's really improved.
She looks healthy too.
Yeah, that's half the battle.
Maybe a bad toss there. Nebraska staying in the match. I mean, so far everybody's feeling out each other, but I don't think Salt Lake has been able to just rip their block apart.
3 service errors so far on Salt Lake's side.
What a pass.
Again, strong to the outside. Those pins working heavy.
Skylar Fields was over the block on a great dime there, but Kojima, what a pass. It's such a great pass for such a tough serve, by the way, and finding cross-court Skylar Fields there.
Thader following the middle set position. Drevniak going deep. Again, those deep swings, you talked about it.
You have to against these teams. Alexa Gray there with a really great serve. She has a great serving middle. As you know, here in the States, liberos serve a lot for middle, so they have to readjust. She's doing a sensational job.
Back again to Fields. She's kept in play. Larson doesn't put it down, but a free ball, almost as good. And again, line. How about the range out of Larson?
On the first one, the ball was tight. She managed to keep it alive. On the second one, she just went for the rip. One-on-one, very fast pace on that set by Blossom.
And do you like the strategy of leaving her one-on-one?
That's what you're supposed to do all the time.
And Hoffman, given the...
Say she's a Karski Eye of women's volleyball.
100%. I'll take that, yeah.
I totally think she is.
The GOAT. And this will be her last season, so if you want to see her in a playing jersey, you better be watching along.
Fernando Morales, assistant coach for Nebraska, says how important was it for them to be consistent. While we were off, I was telling my partner, that Salt Lake is getting away with out of system with ease. That's no good for Nebraska, and they have a struggle a little bit here also out of system.
Tough serve, the cornerstone of any volleyball team, and Skylar Fields with an ace serve.
As we see that flat serve touching the net, that takes a lot of spin out of it, so you cannot move into it.
Just 24 years old, out of Missouri City, Texas. Looking for it again.
Great leaper.
Not this time, but Larson, does she get the touch? Of course she did. What a silly question, Key.
That's what you do when you know how to play this game. You see that block and you use it. Tooling, high hands, that's what professionals and experienced players do.
Jordan Larson adding not only points, but also that maturity, that leadership on the court.
She's a commanding personality.
Rodriguez keeps it in play. Free ball coming. Tight for Poulter, and that means trouble if you're Nebraska.
That's what happens when you have a 6'2" setter like Jordan Poulter. That's where her size comes in to an advantage. When she's in the 5-1 in the front row, she can surely jump and get rid of those balls, and that's why she's so valuable to USA Volleyball.
6'2". How often do you get a setter that tall?
Not often.
Well, you were a setter. Alan, how tall are you?
If you change the numbers, then 2'6".
They're thereabouts, yeah, exactly. And look, having a tall setter, we'll talk about this a little more as the match goes on, but what does that provide in the offense or maybe the defense for Salt Lake?
It allows you to run a 5-1, and we will go into that. Nobody has won anything with a 6'2", so we're going to talk about the advantages of running a 5-1.
And when you say 6'2", you mean the offense, not the height.
Yes, yes.
Salt Lake with a couple of points back-to-back, 17-12, and a timeout called by Nebraska.
It's a great timeout to call. Like I said, they're not passing well, and you know that's going to be quick death if they don't find a way of being in system. And I want to talk a little bit about what it is to be in system. When you have a pass and that ball is good enough for your setter to run a lot of options, so it's what you're expecting pretty much out of your team. When you're out of system means when that is not happening.
Here's a look at the Salt Lake-Madison matchup last time around, and there were a few impressive pieces in that one. Salt Lake with the win on Thursday night.
And Alexa Gray hitting from everywhere. As you can see, she just looks like she just hangs in the air. And then we see the other Gray doing the job. 3-1 Salt Lake versus Madison. That was February the 5th.
And Salt Lake seems to be the team to beat this season. What is it that's so good about them?
They have good players in all positions. I think that Jordan Poulter is an edge on the league, being 6'2", running that 5'1" with the experience that she has. And the depth, they have players for all positions.
Yeah, depth and balance, we talk about that a lot. How do you have multiple threats at a single time? Salt Lake right now with 17-12 and another ace serve. The dribbler, oh, it's a nightmare if you're a middle blocker.
It is. It's a nightmare for everyone. Salt Lake also, I mean, when you talk about what impacts the game, they have two awesome 6 rotation outsides, and they have a great libero. They have awesome passing.
Tip from Trevniak, backcourt. It's not going to fall. Perry into a huge stuff from Thader.
They were waiting for her. They're out of system. She couldn't tool. And Thader doing what she does best, as we can see. Look at those hands, how high and pressing. Great progression. Ball setter, ball hitter.
That's 3 blocks now for Nebraska. We said they would be impressive there in that particular skill. Poulter using her backcourt, and the tip doesn't fall. Winter is over it. Under it, even. Fields as well. Jones Perry into the deep corner, and she continues to be a threat for the jerseys in yellow.
Welcome to the Jordan Poulter match. She's doing everything. She's getting all those balls very close to the net, even hitting pipe. Like, you can see her confidence, and you can see her experience show up in every move that she makes.
Yeah, she's got a few different players on the board so far. Skylar Fields 5 points, Serena Gray with 4, Jones Perry with 2, Hoffman with 4. So we talked about that and how important it is to have a setter that can spread that balance.
Incredible. Not only that, getting balls out of the net with ease. As we see Carol siding out there on the slide. She usually, when she plays for Brazil, she doesn't hit that slide as often. She likes to hit quicks.
And Carol was one of my question marks coming into this match as we talked about some of her numbers. 2 matches ago versus the last match, she went a little bit quiet. So what does Nebraska need to do to get her back in it?
Well, I guess she's already back into it. Sometimes these experienced players take a long time, as we see Drefniak doing what opposites do. Get rid of that ball, whatever it is.
Out of system bump set coming from Poulter this time. That gets Blossom out of it. Drefniak again. What a slice. And the defense continues. Oh, that's in play. Nebraska. Now Salt Lake slow it down, and an opportunity. Nope, off the hands. Those good block touches important as well. Drefniak again, that same angle twice in a row.
She has all the shots as you have to be when you play that position. The best players in the world are playing on the right side. Egonu, as we see her there hitting twice. Look at that defense by Poulter that barely got in. Sensational play, and then Drefniak doing it again.
Drefniak up to 5 points in the match, and another one goes Nebraska's way. They get in on the ace pie.
Communication issue there as they serve right into that gap. She thought maybe it's going to go out, and then at the end she put her hands like maybe it's going to stay in, and she shanked the ball.
And Gabby Blossom, sometimes brought in as a serving sub, so now in a starting role can add that to the match as well.
I think they're going to challenge this. I heard a sound, maybe a blog, let's see. So it wasn't me, I guess everybody else. Yeah.
Let's have a look at it. What do you see, Alan?
Not on this one, let me see. Oh yeah, it's in. It's in. I thought it was a touch, to be honest. Yeah, it was right on the line. Lexi staying inside. Pretty much letting her, if you want to score, it's got to be there. Super nice deep hit. Referees might be checking. They have their own challenges, which I think it's amazing. Sometimes they just want to check for themselves. I think that's a superb rule.
Fields with 6 points already.
Larson doing what veterans do. She went to talk to the ref. What's up?
Fields again. That time doesn't go down. Underneath, and there's Winters. She was the top scorer in the last match. Nebraska have to get her going.
Nebraska serving well enough to get balls back so they can actually convert. And you see there Winters taking an off-speed hit that took a little bit of steam off that block.
What do you think Salt Lake needs to do to get themselves over the edge here?
Pretty much just one pass like you just saw right now, and that's pretty much it. They were out of system for a little bit there, a little bit of struggling, and then Nebraska did what they had to do. Watch her moves. She's so quick. And then coming in straight into position 6, moving it around towards 1. One more time.
And again through the middle. This is why Gray is such an important piece. And as a middle, it's actually quite difficult to be impactful for your team, but she does it every single time.
Plus, she's super aware of the first job of a middle, which is to be checking for overpasses. She's so ready for those overpasses.
Backcourt denied. Carroll again doing what she does best.
Her instincts. You played middle.
I did.
When you see her play, she's not the tallest middle in the world, but she's one of the best. Her instincts are just superb. I truly think that middles, even though you get to work at it, there's that instinct part. Like, she just knows where to be.
100%. And she puts her arms straight over the net. Young middles will sometimes go up and then over, and the difference is you can't lose that split second, especially a player like her that's a little bit shorter than most.
And one of the best in the world at 6'1". It's incredible.
Ace serve. Nebraska, they are coming back into it exactly like you mentioned. That serve playing a huge role.
And that's how you get back, with very strong serving against Salt Lake, that they have such a great passing team. I don't want to stop such a great offense at the net if I can stop them before. If I can disrupt the offense, that's why I want to serve tough. But super close to the net, as you can see. That's where you get less reaction time. Awesome serve into the gap of 6'1" there by Carroll.
2 aces, as you can see on your screen, but no errors. And we talk about this ace to error ratio a lot. How important is it as a team to keep the errors low when you're getting those good serves in?
Well, more than 8, you're in trouble pretty much, so you want to keep them as low as you can. The way that Carroll plays the game, the way that the Brazilians play the game, they try to keep it as clean as they can. So you're not going to see her mess a lot. She gets Roberto on that face every time she misses that, and he's not a happy camper, so they know how to work under pressure, and this is the easiest way. First ball side out is the biggest stat in the game, and shouldn't sound dumb when we say this, but everyone needs to serve hard. But when you play against Salt Lake City, that they have so many weapons, you need to serve extra tough.
And the point that you made earlier is Salt Lake, they've been in system quite a bit. They're passing at about 50%. You can't allow that, right? Because then you've got the Alexa Gray coming at you through the middle. You want to neutralize some of the offense at least.
Another good pass.
Fields again. That one comes off the touch of the block. Larson down the line, and that transition play has to be hugely important for Nebraska.
And Nebraska knows that the numbers, the transition numbers on Salt Lake are ridiculously good, so they need to take care of it. I dig so I can run offense, and they're doing that.
We talk a lot about those solo stuff blocks. Nebraska has 4 right now, but equally they have 4 good touches, which means they can run that offense.
Carroll went for a little bit too big there. With that score, I'll take it. The way that the game is played right now, it's a speed game, it's a power game. Sometimes we see maybe more serve than we would like to have.
In comes hometown hero Mary Lake, former BYU player here in Provo. The crowd is super excited to see her on court. Not in the libero jersey, as we're typically used to seeing her, but extra defensive specialist nonetheless.
For sure. She couldn't handle that one. Kimberly Drefniak just pounding that ball. I think being a lefty is such a great advantage on the right side, even though the best ones in the world right now are right-handed. But it's an edge to have that right side. She can hit line. You saw her just hitting straight down, cross-court straight. I mean, straight to Poulter. That was on 2. She has all the shots. 6
kills so far for Drevniak, hitting at .430. Good numbers for an opposite.
Really good numbers. Nice hit there off the hands. Finding that block a little bit late.
So, set point Salt Lake. They have 2 opportunities to get it done. That's not going to help. Nebraska given a lifeline.
Went for a little bit too much there, Skylar Fields. Long float. This is far from over.
100%. Adabausch comes in for Nebraska. Dutch national team player, Olympian herself. That's going to strengthen a little bit of height at the front court.
We spoke to Tama about, and she says, I have so much talent that I can obviously get away with this. And why not? You want to get them healthy for the rest of the season.
Alexa Gray had a high of 24 kills against Austin on the 29th, but if they don't need her, that's really a show of how good this team are.
Serena Gray's just killing it. She did it on the first set, also taking care of all the overpasses and doing her stuff. A very physical presence in the net.
Set number 2 underway, and the first point on the board for Salt Lake. Nebraska tried to serve a little tougher towards the end of that last set, but Salt Lake do not seem to be concerned.
Skylar Fields taking care of that right side, hitting the line for the 2nd time in a row with ease on a one-on-one situation. So Poulter doing a great job. I think she was telling her right now that she could rip it cross-court because she was only with 1 blocker.
Fields also a 3-time All-American herself. Great scoop. And Hoffman might be looking for the fingertips, does not get them. So Nebraska get on the board.
For every single ball. I mean, Kojima, they're digging. They're looking great. If I'm a coach, this is what you want to do. When you see your teams running defense as good as they have, they're into the match.
Tougher serve, but again on Kojima. An error. The first hitting error that we have seen by Serena Gray all season long. She's been blocked only twice. Made no errors until that one.
She's human.
Ugh.
By the way, what a great pass on such a hard serve.
Ball in play. Fields goes for a tip. Blossom puts it back on Drevniak, and she works off the hands and out of bounds.
Hard dump there off the hands for Drevniak. Very smart play. That's what opposites do. You get to hit the ball when you're out of system. You get to see 6 hands sometimes, and you still need to side out, and that's the job. No whining, no nothing. That's what you're supposed to do. Do it.
No whining. We love that. Drevniak's played in Serbia, Turkey. She played in France in Mulhouse. She played in Scandici, in Italy, in Schwerin. These are big name clubs if you're familiar with the international game.
And by the way, all of those leagues with great blockers. So if you learn how to tool, you're going to have a very rough time there.
Winters Looks for Hoffman. She gets the ball right back and off the block. So Blossom out of the set. Drevniak again asked to do more, and it's the same again. Rinse and repeat. Why not?
And why not hitting super hard against that block? Being a lefty, like I said, it's a great advantage when you're there because you get to hit the ball with the way better angle. You can cut it faster too. Not even Serena Gray can get to those balls. She's hitting super hard.
Drevniak was the best scorer of the French Super Cup in 2022. There's Gray again. There's the tip with the hands, and Poulter going back to her middle.
Those long hands, she actually got both hands on the ball and she dumped it down with two hands. Great physical specimen for whenever she sees that the ball is tight on the net, she gets two hands and she just dumps it down with power. It's a power dump.
Gray in the serve as well. Again, getting Blossom off the net. Tight for Larson. She handles it. Another tip. Recycle play. Nebraska having to go 2-3 times, but that patience paying off.
Recycling by both experienced players, not only Larson but Drevniak too, and they got two other chances to score. Larson off the hands, doing what experienced players do. She looks phenomenal for her age. Jordan Larson looks really good. Can she do 2 more years?
What do you mean for her age? She's 25. I'm sure of it. We're all 25. We just stopped there. Back to Fields, and she gets it underneath. She's been having a phenomenal match. She talked about resting Alexa Gray, but Salt Lake haven't missed a beat without her.
She has a double block. She sees it. She's been hitting the line, so now she gets to do something else and keep them in, out of rhythm too.
Fields on the serve. That's much better from Nebraska. They get their middle going, but it's not down. Through the block on the outside goes Hoffman.
Hoffman is playing sensational also and passing really well. She likes to be in rhythm. She likes to pass and hit. She's one of those swing hitters.
Yeah, Hoffman right now passing at 71%. Great numbers for an outside hitter. Maybe that's why Kojima's getting so much ball. Off the hands of the block. We're tied up at 5s. Dixon tries to get through. Not this time. Larson again underneath. Now that's typically Larson's bread and butter.
I think she got caught there. The block was waiting for her. I don't think she had too much time to get out and actually hit the ball and straight into the net.
Yeah, Larson, one of the sharpest cuts in the game.
I don't think she had the height to do a trick there.
Back to Drevniak. Underneath, and that's a bit more power out of Nebraska.
And that ball was really fast set. The pace was super fast. By the time that Drevniak hit the ball, Tori Wilson was already on the air, not able to press.
How do you rate the setting so far from Gabby Blossom coming in as a second setter?
She's been sensational. 25-23 first set, and we're tied in the second one. She's been really good.
There it is. There is Nebraska's big blocking lineup. Thader denying.
Scoring the old school way, scoring from the service line and scoring from the net. Great penetration there. Somebody fell asleep there on the cover.
Thader.
Happens.
Thader was the best blocker of the Love Classic last season. You can see why. Goes for it again, gets a touch. Speaking of the Love Classic, we've got it coming up next weekend. If you want volleyball, if you want League One volleyball, you will see every team in action. It's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be there for sure. Jordan Poulter there. Another advantage of being 6'2". The ball is over. Let me hit it. And she hit it with authority.
Jordan Poulter, 2-time All-American at Illinois. Thader goes for the slide. That ball picked up. Rodriguez not taking any chances. And a sneaky block for Salt Lake, and it's Poulter in the middle of it.
And that's where you see, like I said, we've been praising, and I will continue to do so on the second setter of Nebraska on Gabby Blossom, but you can see that sometimes that's not the speed that Jordan was looking for, that you're looking probably on your starting setter. Those are the little things that you'll miss when you don't have your starting setter.
2 in a row. Salt Lake are on the run. Poulter and Dixon getting in it.
She was in the trap between Poulter and Tori. As you can see, there's some very great blockers, and she pretty much hit it straight. She tried to get that angle, but Tori was there like, no way.
That inside arm, we talk about how strong you have to be in the shoulders. That time dribbling down, but enough for Salt Lake to get a the lead here, 1 point advantage.
Blossom did something really cool there. She got Drevniak to come out of the pipe position. Even though she's an opposite, yeah, she hit the pipe and get me out of trouble.
Larson looks down the line. Defense good from Drevniak. Winters, 2 hands, that's not gonna fall. Back outside, and that'll do nicely. Ronnie Jones parry in front of her home crowd.
Nice cutter there, as you can see. Let's watch this swing, by the way. See how she gets back? She knows where the ball is going to be, and she keeps it inside. Pretty much like a highest 31 there. She didn't go all the way out, and she knew what to hit there.
Ronnie Jones Perry averaged 14 points per match last season, including a season high 29 in their 3rd matchup against Madison.
No touch there on that hit. Poulter says, no, I was close, but I wasn't there.
Tori Dixon takes a bit of speed off it, but again, they're targeting Winters over and over. What a way to get out of it.
Tooling really smart there. I mean, if I haven't been able to hit, we got a couple of blocks in a row. Let's just mix it up a little bit.
Winters out of Creighton, but she went on to play a bit of pro. She played in Toulouse, Olympiacos in Greece, in France, Cannes, San Rafael, Spain. She's been all over the place, and that experience again paying off.
Does help. And talking about experience, Carol there waiting for that overpass. It'll be really interesting to see how fast she went over the net.
You mentioned those short serves as part of the keys to the match, but when you get that overpass, Carol all over it. She's having fun, doesn't she?
It seems to me like she's having a lot of fun. I'd love to see her setting off system. She just sets dimes there.
Back underway, Salt Lake up by 2, but Nebraska hanging in there. What have they been doing well this match?
Well, I was about to say it's a 3rd hit that I see. That's an off hit by Jolly Wilson. They're like very smart. Like, if I cannot go around your block, I'm just going to tool and do little things. That's the game that you need to come up against Salt Lake. If you play their game, their power game, I think you're going to be out in 3 sets.
Jaylee Winters helped the Big East win the conference 4 times in her college days.
Middle stepped on each other. Thankfully, nothing happened. Serena Gray was able to get that ball around Carol. They bumped it to each other, and they said, I'm sorry, let's just go keep playing.
Got to keep it cordial on court.
Of course.
Nothing cordial about that block, and absolute stuff from Serena Gray.
Carol with the experience there, trying to fool Gray, but Gray with the so powerful, and she gets high so early. Watch. Pretty much a commit there, and sealing that net, hand straight over the net.
First block of the night for Serena Gray. And not that time. Drevniak working high off the hands this time.
She's having a blast. She already knows I don't need to put it in the court. How many balls has she put in the court? Like, she's been just tooling left and right.
Drevniak has 12 points already. 11 from 20 is her attacking numbers.
Great percentage.
Fields as well. Again, talking about filling that role for someone like Serena Gray, or excuse me, Alexa Gray. There's a lot of Grays out there.
Yeah.
How well has she done?
She has done well also. I think the setting has been perfect, and she's hitting that line. Larson having a bit of trouble with the height that she's hitting at.
Fields 9 points already tonight. Overpass. And that'll do nicely. Dixon puts it away.
Talking to Coach Thomas, he says, well, look, I know I have a really great team. We're passing great. We have offense everywhere. Now we're trying to serve stuff to make people even more miserable.
Yeah. Salt Lake's definitely been making people miserable this season.
Very aggressive serve by Gray.
That is the Jordan Larson special experience, as you might call it, not age.
With ease. With ease. Watch. She knows what's going on. I'm going to have to tool or something. Yeah, tip, why not?
That's a great shot as well. You can
so
see how
Winters a little bit off. Yeah.
How wide the defensive players were, how deep they were staying on her.
Coach Fritz talking to Lexi Rodriguez there.
Off the hands and out of bounds. What do you think Coach Susie Fritz was talking to about Rodriguez in that little chat?
She's been really sensational. I think she talked about pretty much about Skylar. On Skylar, let's see the set close to the net again. That's what she does. A one-handed set, and that's why you need such a tall setter to get an advantage on those balls.
Oh, no touch, straight to the floor.
But she's been hitting line with ease all of a sudden. They're looking for line, and now she finds She finds angle. CC Story was a bit late there. That's all it took.
That ball dying inside. And would you say the middle closes to the outside, or the outside should close to the middle of that situation?
I will say that with Drefnia, you got to get closer to her because she already has 12 points in this match. Like, she's hot. Just lean a little bit, maybe dedicate a little bit more to where she is, and yeah, beat me with other players.
Hoffman hooks it down the middle. Winters again. Blossom way out of system. Off the hands of the block. Poulter now has to bump set. Jones Perry wants a finger or two, but she won't get it. And Nebraska back to within 3.
I was here like a week and a half ago doing Salt Lake, and their serving has come up a lot. Like, they're serving way tougher, which is scary for the rest of the teams.
Yeah, keeping that ace to arrow ratio in check. Drevniak. Oh, what a defense, Fields. There's the tip, and there is Lexi Rodriguez. Hands there for the taking. Again, Poulter pushes outside. It's wide enough, and Ronnie Jones-Perry exploding on the ball.
What a great hit, picking up nice ball on defense, and now a different swing. She has 2 swings, one that she holds a little bit of her arm, and one that goes all the way through. This one, a really great swing all the way down. Poulter talking to her.
On Rodriguez, that's an easy pass for her. And there's the result.
Fader on the slide there, very high hit. She's super high on the net.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of middle action yet on Nebraska's side, but is that a good sign for them?
Actually, they haven't passed well enough for them to run middles, which should worry their staff.
Salt Lake, on the other hand, still passing right around 50%. That's a couple steps off the net, but Poulter can handle it, and a tip on to Thader. Get your middle on the floor.
And Skylar Fields is doing all kinds of stuff. She can hit it hard, she can tip, and now she's just throwing it in. So many things that they're expecting pretty much to hit line, as we see the defense there waiting for her in the line. And she did. And she also realizes that the one playing defense is the middle. No offense here, but I mean...
no offense taken.
But it's different when it's the libero. I mean,
100%.
It's way harder.
That's that court vision. And I feel like any people that are watching at home and you're thinking it's always the hard driven balls, there's so much strategies in there. When you get in the air and you can change your mind in a split second.
And the higher the level, the more you see that finesse game.
We had a little peek at the signals there. The middle blockers always giving some information to the players behind them with their hands.
A great set there by Lexi Rodriguez to draft. You know, that's just having them. What a great match. What a great set. And there she goes, ripping it into the gap.
Yeah, if you're going up against Drevniak, would you take line or would you take cross on her?
I'll take a nice prayer.
Prayer.
She's doing everything right now. Nice there, a roll shot, kind of a deep roll shot. In confusion there. Conflict zones. She has been hitting line consistently. Sharp angle, long angle, tooling. Drevniak's on fire.
It seems like the Drevniak and Fields show at the moment. Great pickup by Poulter. Chance to go high and hard. And a little bit too much on it. Salt Lake still in control here. They're 21-19. It looks like we will have a challenge coming in.
It's good to let people know that in the international game, in the best leagues, which Love surely is one of them, you get a lot of honor system, and the players will pretty much call their own plays. You don't see that anywhere, but you're having that taste of international volleyball here. She said they didn't touch it. We'll see.
I don't think so. It looks like
so. She said no, obviously, and nobody wants to take that for granted, but
maybe the right hand of Carroll.
I don't think so. It looked like a little wiggle there, but
well, the score was reversed, and Salt Lake took the point.
Those micro touches, sometimes players don't feel them too. What a hit by Drevniak, getting Jordan in the right straight in the chest there.
She's been pummeling that cross court.
Out on the second one, she didn't even wait for the setter. Is this good enough for me to rip? And she went for it.
Drevniak on fire so far this match. 16 points.
It's like that Caddyshack movie. Remember at the end, they were just hitting golf balls and they will all go in. She's on Caddyshack mode in volleyball. Everything she hits is a point.
Yeah, she seems to be one of those players that can really dictate the way that Nebraska play. Bashi and with Corneliano, and if you listen to international volleyball, those two names will be extremely familiar with you. Yeah, it's a 22-20 lead. Salt Lake looking to close out this second set. Did the first one. Fastball back behind, a tip this time. That's well read. Kojima, one of the best defenders in the league, and Rodriguez pops it up as well. Off the hands, handled beautifully. Ooh. Drevniak again. Recycle play working really well for Nebraska. Another chance, a diving dig.
And it was out of bounds. Yeah, the ball was a little bit wide. What a great whole bunch of plays by Lexi Rodriguez. She was all over the place. Watch, reaching there. Belated Carl McGowan and his son Chris, who's traveling right now, but BYU royalty for sure.
Back in Provo today. 3 former BYU players enjoying this crowd here in the Smith Fieldhouse.
Winter was trying to look for a touch there, but it wasn't, a little bit wide as Carroll goes to serve.
So we're at 23-21. Nebraska still have a chance to take this second set.
They played well enough in this set that they could be ahead with just a little bit more luck. Carroll had a really good serving strategy the last time out. Let's see how this one turns out.
Reception's gone down from 50 to 40% on Salt Lake side. Not much, but enough to get Nebraska a look in. But that is, again, Skylar Fields on fire for her side.
Jumping very high, and I don't think the block can even read her. I thought she was going to hit line, and all of a sudden she turned cross-court there. She's hitting super high and deep to the edges of the court.
Set, point, Salt Lake. Can they get it done here? Not yet, but a slowdown. So Nebraska live to see another point.
Fader on the quick there, using that size advantage on a great pass.
Nebraska right there, serving tougher. But again, the last set ended with a service error.
By Jordan Larson.
Drevniak at the line. No errors yet tonight. That one almost an overpass. It's been a change on court for Salt Lake as Maddie Bug checks into the match. Fresh setter. She'll get us started for Salt Lake now on the right side, still in the yellow. And Kimberly Drevniak with the first bite at the apple for Nebraska. Gets them on the board.
Whatever it takes. If I need to tip, I'll tip. If I need to hit, I'll hit. Doing it right.
What do you think about this setting change? Salt Lake are up 2-0. Making a change? Do you like it?
I think it's a great time. What could be best? Like, imagine, I want to see you now in the season. I don't want to wait until I'm in trouble. Plus, Maddie's a great player with great experience. If the other team's playing with their backup setter and they're there, why not? I want to give it a try. And a lot of rest for Jordan Poulter, who's a young veteran, but still she would love to get the rest.
Yeah, Maddie Bug as well, out of Stanford. Went and played pro in Dresden, Stuttgart, Malus, as well as Conaniano. She was coached by Mia.
Ball goes out. I worked one camp at the University of Miami with her. And she's not only a great player, I think she's going to be a great coach down the road if she decides to go in that route.
Yeah, coached by Tama Miyashiro in Stuttgart in her playing days. So there's that familiarity for her. High ball outside. Hoffman going deep into the corner, and the offense doesn't seem to have missed a beat on Salt Lake side.
Not at all. High hands there. Very smart move with that huge block from Nebraska. Maddie comes from a very solid background. She had a great career at Stanford. That's always a superb program in the nation. Now playing on the ACC, which is crazy to travel so far.
I know, Miami and Stanford in the same conference.
They're enjoying
a lot of air miles there.
What a great serve.
Comes back into play, but it has to go free over the net, but just outside to Hoffman. She goes cross court, and Rodriguez can't handle it.
Rodriguez just letting us know that she's human, and every once in a while she will miss a ball. She's been incredible. hitting for 250.
Slight lead for Salt Lake here in the third. Tip up by the middle. Middle's dig counts for 2, right?
Yes. Fader took that ball and said, belongs to me. I'm in the net. I'm 6'3", and I jumped really high. Why not? She took care of it.
Yeah,
that serve by Serena Gray on that jump float, it's coming with a lot of angle. And by the way, it was a net natty also.
Yeah, I thought so too, but Thader, she'll take that. 2 blocks now for Thader.
Well,
great defense. Backcourt. Dug well, that's still in play. Bug pushes outside, Hoffman picked up. And that's the defensive play. That's where liberos can impact the game.
Lexi Rodriguez all over that ball. That is why liberos are the second most important player in the court. Look at that. Not only a great defensive play, but putting it straight on the hands.
Second most?
Besides a 6 rotation outside?
Okay,
so stats say.
All right, so outside is the most important, and then you think libero.
I don't think the stats say that's debatable, but stats say that libero is. That's why liberos are getting so much promotion, like, as they should. They keep the ball alive.
Interesting. So higher than the setter, higher than the opposite.
At least for gold medal square, and for me, it is.
Okay, okay. We'll see if that pans out today. 2 of the best on the court right now, but Thader getting involved in the offense as well.
Nice rip there on the slide by Thader. Nebraska's getting some momentum early, but then they're losing in the middle of the set.
See if they can hang on to it. Tough serving. Bug barely has to move. Tip from Dixon. That a little low for her. Winters from the backcourt. Going again to Hoffman. She's high and out of system. Plenty of time for the block to set up.
Blossom and Thader waiting out, camping out on that play. And a little bit of a...
Lexi Rodriguez, the only Love player to reach double-digit digs in every single match played so far. The queen of the digs, we should call her.
Some people sometimes make me wonder, like, why do you think there's such a hype for her? I go, just watch her play.
Now she has 12 digs already tonight, so looking to continue that streak.
And those 12 digs are 12 opportunities for my setter to run offense. That's why they're so valuable.
She remains in double-digit figures. 12 digs. How do you rate that in terms of liberos in the league?
I told you that I think that middle sometimes, even though you work on it, I think it did touch the floor. There's a little bit of hand, but there's a little bit of floor there, obviously. I think that middles have this instinct, and I also think that liberos have a touch that sometimes you need to be born with. She has obviously worked at it. Sports Performance is one of the best schools in the nation, and they work like if they were Japanese there. It's like a lot of hours and a lot of training, and it looks when she's playing. You can see that she has those 10,000 hours under her belt.
And she's really taken over this team. Didn't get a lot of playing time last year behind Justine Wongarantes, but now Salt Lake continuing their prowess from the end line. Ace serve for Fields.
So Nebraska getting a little bit of a funk there, trying to stretch a lead, and all of a sudden these aces come up and make the match tighter.
That time, Winters on it. Pushed over by Blossom. High ball again to Hoffman. She's dug. There's another one for Rodriguez. And off the hands. There's the conversion, right? There's exactly in front of you. The dig converts to a point.
Transition play, very smart. Really well placed that set. And able to side out. There's somebody down, yes.
Well, you hate to see it. The effort from both these two teams in terms of defensive hustle has been huge, but Fields looks like she went.
Fields, yeah, she looks like she's okay, thankfully, so she's back into the game.
Yeah, a little bit hard into that LED screen.
Let's see, as we see the tool, she went for it, and I guess she kept sliding, yeah, until she hit the billboard there. Yeah, she's fine.
And those billboards, they're like cheese graters. They are not easy.
She's having such a great match that it'll take something really hard for her to get out of this match.
That's a big pickup. Opportunity to convert. Hoffman's going off the hands. The long throw, and it lands in. Thader creative in the offense.
When Kojima saw that she was going to tip, she went running front and she just threw that floor that frustrates people. It's like, where's this ball going? Straight to the line and landing. Nebraska getting a little mojo back again.
Oh, and a tough serve as well. Bug trying to run it down. That won't work. And a serve for Bausch.
9-5. Let's see if Nebraska can take this set.
Yeah, if Nebraska's up by 4 points, when do you bring back your starting setter? When do you bring Coulter back on the court?
I think that if you're winning the first 2 sets, Tama's going to give her a break. I mean, this is not club volleyball. I mean, she's going to give Maddie like the chance of having it, but it could be at any time. It's also professional volleyball. Like, you want to make sure you get the W.
And do you think the setting change has been the difference? Because they're an almost ace serve. That really had nothing to do with the set, did it?
Sometimes as a coach, and this sucks to whoever's coming from the bench, it's just that the team doesn't actually connect really fast to you, and you lose something that has nothing to do with the game. It's chemistry, I will say, but it happens a lot.
Nebraska on a 9-2 run. 11-5 is the lead, and a couple of errors compounding.
I mean, it's not like changing a player, it's changing your setter who runs offense. So it is a big deal.
It's just a matter of offensive not doing their job.
Has to be a change of setters, it's a change of trajectories, it's a change of a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see how they can adjust.
All right, Nebraska back at it. 12-5 is the lead here in the third. Ball a little off the net there. Dixon goes for the swing. That's kept in play. Kojima high. Hoffman. Doug. Winters with no approach and still gets it done.
I also think that Gabby Blossom has got him into rhythm while Maddie's trying to find some rhythm. So now Nebraska looks in rhythm.
Pan Am Cup silver medalist in 2024 is Jaylee Winters. Bit of time in that USA jersey.
That's a very nice roll shot. And an off-speed shot that's been killer for her.
Great pass, Kojima, perfect. And still Nebraska converting into a transition, which turns out to be another point. Nebraska doing everything right.
Doing everything right, and Salt Lake too. I think that was a great set and a great rip, but Nebraska's just getting everything dug now. They got into a rhythm. There's a drill called reverse volleyball, which is pretty much what we used to play back in the day. Remember that back in the day you had to serve to score. They're scoring the old-fashioned way. Nebraska is. Nice short.
Tough serve as well. Hoffman finally getting some rhythm for Salt Lake, but it's 14-6. Is it too late?
Could be too late. They took a long time to side out. Let's see if they can make it up now from the service line. It's incredible that such a great serve was just pretty much a dime for Kojima there. She's so gifted.
Kojima playing Pong, as we saw in the graphic earlier.
For sure. And they're going to challenge for a touch. Faders saying like there was a touch for sure.
Yeah, Thader's hitting at 100% in this set. 3 for 3. And if there's a touch on this one, she'll be at 4 for 4.
She's been really consistent. Blocking really well. Very fast and very tall. She jumps really high also. I think it's a matter of time before they talked about the touch. And yeah, they're saying, yeah, I did touch it.
Having a look on court there, and it looks like another change has snuck on Danny Drews for Salt Lake. And Sophie Fisher, a couple of changes.
You got nothing to lose. You're losing by 8, so give it a try.
Danny Drews announcing her pregnancy recently, and they had some walk-in photos where the team had to pick team boy or team girl. We haven't seen her on court at all this season. Her first time getting in there, but as you mentioned, making some changes, it's important right now.
Yeah, why not? Looks like a lost set. So let's give it a try, and let's try to serve as tough as we can. We have nothing to lose. We're up 2-0. It's a nice rip there by RJP.
Sophie Fisher on the serve. Almost with the overpass, but Blossom handles that. Free ball for Drews. And a better swing off the hands and out of bounds. Ronnie Jones-Perry back in the mix, taking a big rip.
You think they can come back? It's a tough one. But 6 points, I think they can with a couple of aces. Let's see if they pick it up in the service line.
Fisher. Goes deep again. Blossom in a good position, but the blockers doing much better. Pug and Gray teaming up.
And going back to what we said it was going to be keys. 4 aces for Nebraska, only 3 for Salt Lake. As we see the net cam there, great blocking, trying to get that ball in there. You saw that.
There's a look at the blocks as well. 5 for Salt Lake. Catching up to Nebraska's 6. Carroll, offensive still. We haven't seen a whole lot of her. Do you want to see more?
For sure. They haven't been able to actually pass so she can run more on the offense, but yeah. I mean, as we see Carroll, look how aggressive she's coming there. She saw the hole, and why not? Just put it in there.
Carroll in her first season with Love. Best blocker of the Olympics in 2024. Best blocker of the VNL in 2024. Couldn't slow that one down, though.
Nice rib by Jones-Berry. Very fast arm. And better pacing by Maddie. I think Maddie's finding her rhythm now, too. 5, so 3 less power. Phenomenal. Poulter looks fine there. Looks like she might be able to start on that forward set if that's something that the coach wants to do.
Big missing piece, but you talked about the depth of Salt Lake. They're really putting it on show here tonight. If they can win without their starters, that is a huge message to the rest of the league.
They have won with different lineups, but yeah, I mean, with a different setter, not so far. Let's see.
Haley Washington there as well. She hasn't played all season long, but always has that notebook, always scribbling some secrets.
And probably waiting for her chance to play the moment she feels better. 5-point lead for Salt Lake. And I was saying that Nebraska is serving a bit tougher than Salt Lake. Why? Because they have to. There's no choice that you can serve easy with a team that has so many great offensive weapons. They have players everywhere.
Nebraska hitting at over 50% in this set. Salt Lake have dropped down to 30. Those hitting efficiencies playing a crucial role in the stat line. 17-11 in this third set.
I don't know if they're looking for a challenge or it's going to be a referee challenge, but not quite sure of what's going on. Yeah, they're trying to figure out some kind of play, some kind of replay. Sometimes the referees, which I saw the last time that I was here, referees can get a challenge of their own, which I think it's super cool because sometimes they're not really, the game is so fast that if I can double check on my judging, it's going to be really nice. I think that's something that the NCAA and even other leagues should do. Well, no clue, but still, it stands 17-11. I guess there's some kind of communication stuff.
There's a look at Kim Hill on your screen, Olympic gold medalist in 2021, bronze in 2016. Now part of the Love community, the managerial level.
Refniak with the tip there, so smart. So the first time she tips inside the court, short 6 there. So every time, even when she tips, she gives you something different.
Very late checking back in. And I like this strategy, using a libero and a defensive specialist. What do you think about it?
You know that for sure that ball's not going to land in the backcourt.
I think
Funny.
Well, out of system, one of the best passing lineups in the league with those 3.
For sure.
Including Hoffman. Drevniak looking for the sideline. That looked in from where I'm sitting.
They're going to check.
Bader thinks so too.
It looked well from our angle, which is the worst angle. Looks like it went Salt Lake. Oof, as close as it could.
I'm calling it in. I think that's it.
I think it caught a little bit off the line. But
we stand corrected.
Coaches will say that ball don't lie after that. The moment that
Exactly.
they think it's their point of like, come on. Serena Gray missing on that serve.
Drevniak now on the serve, putting pressure on this Salt Lake lineup. Easy roll. Bader again, cross-court hammer.
So nice to see that after she blocked her transition steps. Watch this. Watch how fast she got back to hit. That's what great middles do. And there's a footwork for that, and you need to run it. It's that ballet that middles do.
Into the hands, and Bausch there to clean it up. An overset becomes a point for Nebraska. Nebraska 21-12.
I was about to say that it was an overset by Maddie Buck there. Waiting on that net, and everybody playing now for Salt Lake.
Yeah, in comes Maddie Haynes. She's targeted, but Lake takes it. Big swing into the big block and denied. Nebraska going up 22-12.
The last time that Salt Lake moved their starters, they lost in 3 to Madison.
They've only lost 1 match so far this whole season.
Yeah, that ball is straight there in the middle of the block. You cannot hit it straight. You're going to get it back.
7 blocks, Nebraska. They'd have been at the helm of a lot of them. A good touch, Drevniak, but it's too much.
So the only danger that I see on Salt Lake on this set is, did I lose my rhythm, and how am I going to start this 4th set if it happens? I mean, there's still 3 points, but looks like Nebraska's got a little bit of momentum coming in.
Season high in kills for Skylar Fields. But that one again, you talk about momentum, and how have Nebraska got themselves into this situation?
By just ripping the ball from the outside, like you just saw number 11 there, like hitting it really hard, and they've been getting touches and lots of defenses there. Second chance opportunities for Nebraska.
Tight ball again. Not handled. Blossom back outside. Winters tries to throw it. Fields is there. Haynes again. Great pickup.
Just not connecting the offense of Salt Lake at this moment.
Free ball chance. This has to be put away. And it's not. Handled again. Nebraska going for the hard one. Kojima's there. Another tight set. Nebraska wanted to put it away, but good hands for Salt Lake. Haynes. Again, it's not going down. One more time. Longest rally of the match.
Wow.
Pancake keeps it alive. And finally, Nebraska get it done. Jaylee Winters out of breath.
Everybody needs oxygen there, and so hard to score now in that back row from Salt Lake. Kojima in 6 and Lake in 5. Still finding that spot in between 6-1 there, but great. A lot of soft touches. A lot of soft touches in the net by Nebraska. Those are money for defense. To me, as good as a hard block. Everybody now, the big old trick. Let's just clean the court. we need the oxygen.
Yeah, Jaylee Winters needs a dry water hydration break.
Anaerobic
sure.
game.
Set point Nebraska. First chance to put it away. Not yet. Good work by Haynes. Clever.
Haynes is doing whatever she can. I think she was a little bit cold coming from that bench. As she goes into serve. Set point number 2. Will they hit Drevniak? I will do that to get this over with.
Well, she's probably hidden in the reception. High ball. Winters. Into hands. No. Fisher patrolling with Bug.
So kind of try to make up her mind there in the middle of the play. Was too late. 24-15. Also, if it's Nebraska, I want to go out and win this set on a bang. I just want to make sure that I close this set with some great energy.
Yeah, keep that momentum. Carry it over to the next. Ball still in play on Winters. Thader. No, not down yet. Fields gets some defensive work for Nebraska. Free ball. Nobody is there. 4 bodies. And it lands.
I thought that maybe Setter could have handled that ball. She stayed a little bit outside the court for a long time. I guess she expected for somebody else to put it in. But after such a great effort on defense by Drevniak, I will probably have a couple of words like, hey, come on. After this effort.
24-16. On the verge is Nebraska, but they got to handle that serve.
A little bit funky now on serve receive.
5 set point opportunities for Nebraska. They haven't been able to get it done. What's changed?
Well, they haven't been able to actually pass, and we just saw they're struggling then. They're serving the outside that's in the front. Like, if you want to score, you're going to have to pass this ball, and it's been difficult for them. It's a good timeout. Like, after that rally, I still see people breathing hard. So let's just get your lungs back and just side out.
Yeah, Jaylee Winters, you mentioned it. She's been served 11 times in this set alone, but she's passing at 45%, so that's a pretty good number.
The strategy for them is so far, I guess they picked it up later, but like, let's just hit her whenever she's in the front row. I just want to make sure that as we see ice there on Poulter.
Yeah, so she's pretty much done for the match. As soon as you see ice on any player, she's not coming back. You want to heat up when you're about to play and cool down when you're done.
Looks that way, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get her back in.
Well, right now, Salt Lake
You know,
missing
that if
her.
it goes to 5 and Maddie isn't able to get her rhythm, I think they might say, you know what, we might need you here.
I don't know if they'd be icing her if they were planning to bring her back in. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Salt Lake
Interesting.
right now on a 5-point run. Oh, that one almost dribbles over. Thader down the line, and Kojima keeps it in play. And again, the defense cannot handle the offense. 6 set points.
And we saw in just one play why these are two of the best liberos in the world. Lexi Rodriguez picking a ball that would have landed on everyone, and Kojima doing the same on the other side.
Yeah.
She's a great setter, so I'm pretty sure she's going to find her way into this match. As has backup setter Gabby Blossom.
Blossom gets us underway for set number 4. Salt Lake have the advantage here in Provo. They took the first 2 sets. And a lot of things changed in the third. Free ball coming. Chance for Nebraska to get the first point on the board, and they're looking for Carroll to do it, but it's not enough.
And the first point, it's good for Maddie to get up 1-0, even though it's only 1-0. Like, yeah, we're getting something back. Let's see how Gray prepares for Carroll. And it didn't go over. It stayed on that side, but she was already with her hands over the net.
Now, we haven't seen a whole lot of offensive action through the middle.
But we have seen plenty of Drevniak tonight on the right side.
Drevniak, 18 points. And she is one of those players that had to step up. We mentioned her being a little hot and cold. Had 26 points against Austin, only 5 against Madison. So she's one of those up and down players that has really showed up tonight.
I know who Gabby Blossom's going to take out for dinner for sure.
Yeah.
Drevniak. As we see that play scramble there in the net, and Gray again handling that net. Kojima coming saying, yeah, we love you here. Bail us out of the back row.
Jones Perry looks for a deep one. Winters has been targeted all night long. And Drevniak again, she seems like a get out of jail free card.
They don't have an answer for her right now, and she's just on the loose. Line, roll shot, tipping, everything goes. Everything's a point.
Also lefty on the right side. How does that change the game if you're a blocker?
It changes a lot. Because that inside hand is there, and they're going to intercept that ball way faster. And they get some very crazy angles on that right side.
Defense is up. No second touch. So Nebraska off and running like they were in the second. Third even.
Yes. Carroll going to serve.
Carroll, Olympic silver medalist in 2021, bronze in 2024 with her Brazilian national team. She's just retired from that jersey. Looks comfortable in the green though.
She looks very comfortable, and so does Gray. They're spiking that ball in the middle. Look how she rips this ball. Look how she goes into a bow and arrow position so fast, which you need to do in your position, the middle position.
That's right, and Gray is so athletic. She's not one of the taller players out there. Typically middles will be around 6'3", 6'4". She's not.
She has the longest arms I've seen in a very long time, and also very powerful jumps. She's so explosive, and guess what? Drevniak scored again.
Who's surprised? Not me.
If you see her demeanor also for young players, see how relaxed she looks. She's having fun. It's a game.
Drevniak, the best server of the German Super Cup back in 2020. Can she bring that to the game here? Does get a little something going, but Salt Lake able to get it.
Skylar Fields with that heavy arm touches the block, but it goes elsewhere. So much power, and it looks effortless on her end.
Tied up at 4s. Fields gets down the middle. Rodriguez handles it. Bausch. Doug. Maddie. Bug pushing her middle out of the way. Seen that before if you're a middle blocker. Fisher gets rewarded with a set.
that tip going over. It's a Hail Mary there. Let's see what this gets me, and it got her a point. Scramble plays there, which are the toughest ones for somebody like Maddie Bog. That's you're the backup setter. That's when things get weird, and the starting setter has an edge. Straight into the net, high fields.
Serving pressure, crucial for both these two teams.
And it's only 5-5. They've been battling for these points, like very long rallies to get these points down.
4 aces for Nebraska, only 2 for Salt Lake.
Hoffman passing and hitting. She likes that rhythm. As she goes into serve.
Correction, 4 aces for Salt Lake, but they have 7 errors to go with it. That's what's really been their Achilles heel. Handled beautifully. Thader from the front. What do you like about her from the front versus the slide?
What I like her a little bit more because I think she has better angles. I was about to say that I think it's about time that Nebraska start hitting those middles. They've been highly effective, and I don't think they have used them enough.
Thader, 12 points. She's hitting 56%. 9 kills from 15. Goes short on her serve. Backcourt. And that'll do it. How about the pipe on Salt Lake? Did we go away from that a bit too much?
Well, not only that, they're running pipes, and it's the second time I've seen it. Also, Nebraska's running pipe with their opposites. Usually you run them out of one, but now you have so much power, why not? The net is 7-4 anywhere.
Salt Lake staying with Nebraska here in the 4th. Picked up off the hands. Fields again staying out of the LED boards this time. Easy to pick up. High ball set. It's too tight. The Achilles heel again for Salt Lake has been those tight sets in the 3rd set. Great scramble. Drevniak on the defense. And a second time. That's a high volleyball IQ for Serena Gray.
It was. And by the way, I need to talk about this. Out of system, they've been talking. The new trend is to get that ball a little bit tighter on the net. On the men's side, the Argentinians are really good at it. And it's a new trend. If you have the time to train it, I like it. If you don't, you might run into one of these plays.
Yeah, it's a really delicate balance, is it, between tight and over, and then the defenders have the advantage.
I respect, like I said, all the stats and all the trends as we see Carol there hitting, but I like it the old-fashioned way. I think that high and inside gives you a better chance to rip that ball off.
Bug giving some signals to her hitters. That
one is for the middle to go quick. And then right side, telling Fields that she's going to hit from the back.
Yeah, that hand gesture right between her chest is signaling that pipe down the middle. And every gesture will be slightly different on every team. You kind of get used to it. And what do you think? Salt Lake has gone back on track. Not much has changed, but everything's changed.
Got a little bit more rhythm.
Okay.
And now with actually not such a great offensive serve, but the ball was in the 10-foot line and trying to hit middles versus Gray, maybe not the best choices.
Nebraska still passing at about 43% in this set.
They can be out of the system. Even though they side out that way, but that's where you don't want to be. When I spoke to assistant coach Fernando Morales of Nebraska, says that we need to be in system, we need to be in system. And I mean, everybody needs to be in system, but against such a powerful team like Salt Lake that's so great in transition, even more. That's where I'm going with that commentary.
Yeah, it's so much easier said than done when you're out there.
Yes.
High-level volleyball. These are Olympians, professionals for a long time. It's not your backyard barbecue volleyball.
And
big
yes.
stop block. Carol, we mentioned her going a little quiet in the blocks. Much better there.
And another tight set on that out of system. Going back to my point, like it's a bit risky unless you have plenty of time to train. Carol analyzing everything on that net, saying she's hitting wrist away, like to get all the angles, talking to the blockers.
Carol, just 2 blocks tonight. Oh, make it 3. That's the blocking queen we know.
Nice short serve to establish that. They still wanted to run the middles, and Carol was there like, if you're going to run the middles, I'm going to commit. Nice commit there, and got the ball.
5 kills, 3 blocks. Those are her numbers. Reminder, she had 10 blocks in a recent match. A league history record.
I don't think I've seen those numbers. No. anywhere in a long time. That ball looked inside like by a lot, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe a net. We'll see. Skylar feels like super high. Watch this. Oh my God, so high.
Over the block even.
Over the block. So I don't know what the call was. I will figure it out. Maybe a touch on Drevniak?
Better. Stuffed straight down. That's what Salt Lake wants to do, and they are getting a piece of the action here. 12-10. It's our first break, and Salt Lake are back to their ways. They won the first 2 sets. Nebraska pushed back, and now it is all Salt Lake once again here in Provo on the campus of BYU. Salt Lake doing what they do. League One Volleyball, Salt Lake up here in the 4th. Let's have a look back at that scouting report, Alan.
For Nebraska to stay in system, they haven't done it lately. They did it on the past set. When they don't do it, it's very hard for them to put their players in the offense. And then simple offense with backup setters, which has been actually done really well by Blossom and Salt Lake. Handled the medium pass. They have done that. And the depth, we have seen so many players for Salt Lake just doing her job.
Yes, Salt Lake having to prove their depth. It's actually backup setters on both sides right now. Skylar Fields, though, she's been phenomenal for Salt Lake.
Doing it from everywhere, as you can see, from the front row, hitting deep to the edges of the court, using and putting that power also to get the gaps out of system against double blocks, doing what opposites do, and even serving. So everything going on for Skylar Fields.
Skylar Fields, 19 points so far, 17 from her offense. She's hitting at 60%, and again, she's stepping in for Alexa Gray. That's the depth of Salt Lake we were talking about. And how about an ace serve as well?
And on Lexi Rodriguez, you should get to keep that ball after that. Nice deep to the gap, as we see there. That is the hardest gap for a libero.
Ronnie Jones-Perry showing us why she was so good when she played back here at BYU in her college days. Tip is thrown by Drevniak. That's Doug. Fields goes down the line, but it's just wide. So another point, Nebraska.
I don't know about you. I thought they had a touch, but it was out. It's been a game of opposites. Drevniak and Fields just starring and being the starting offensive players for both teams.
Carroll, 1 ace already. That ball tight. Doesn't matter though. Hoffman manages to find the donut hole.
Great play there. Not too much to do with it. Let me just throw it here. And she did that with a lot of grace. That roll shot kind of pushed there.
And in the 3rd set, we saw quite a few errors in the attack.
13 kills for her. Fader, miscommunication, but it still landed. I'll take it. Why not? I like what Nebraska's doing. I think that Blossom is getting more rhythm and now using more of their middles. Expected, giving a Drevniak a little bit of a break too. Into the net. Both teams in the same rotations.
15-12 the lead. Gabby Blossom as the backup setter. Laura Dyke, really fun follow. And I feel like there's a lot of players that you can really get to know them and their personalities based on what they're showing you online. She's one of them.
My club players in Miami at 305, all of them follow Lexi Rodriguez you're watching right now. She's like a superstar for the game.
Ball outside, Anna Bausch. One of those AI characters. Her and Carol, and their travels is what they love.
She's done a great job coming in for Jordan Larson, spiking that ball with a lot of power.
Bausch goes back to serve. She gets Salt Lake off the net again. Chance for Winters. That's Doug. Hands are there for the taking. Another recycle play. Drevniak is denied, and Salt Lake have stepped it up at the net.
Great rally there, waiting on that net very patiently. Ball setter, ball hitter, pressing those hands as we see here how this finish. Oh, textbook there. by Hoffman, just pressing those hands.
Ace serves Salt Lake back to their winning ways. This is the Salt Lake team that we were expecting coming into the match.
Pressing with their serve. They're a great serving team. They serve better than Nebraska.
Hoffman.
What's that say?
Hoffman, a 3-time All-American. There's the roll, easily handled. Back to Fields, off hands again. Drevniak looking for the touch. Salt Lake say no.
Will they challenge? Everybody thought they saw a touch, but no. Drevniak a little bit off rhythm in this last set. She's been on fire the whole match. Are they going to challenge?
Drevniak went a little bit quiet.
No, they're not. By the way, we got a sub
in the third set. She only had 2 points, but as you mentioned, you saw some other players stepping up around her. Bausch, one of them. Winters, another. But do they need her to get going to win this set?
For sure.
Well, for now, Larson stepping in to handle some business. Doesn't matter, though. Big stuff block from Fisher.
You got Jordan Larson in the back row. One of the best passers in the world. Just come and pass for Bausch. Watch the block being established there. Great. Filling in that gap, which is what middles do so great.
Fisher, an All-SEC team member in 2024. Ripper.
Oh, one-handed. And looks like they're going to check on something, but what about that one-handed dig by Kojima?
Yeah, on Julia Hansen as well, who's coming in for the first time in the match. Salt Lake are looking like themselves again.
And a point. What a great dig by Kojima. She made it look easy. Watch this. Watch this. One-handed. Oh, my gosh. She makes it look easy.
Bader tries to get one through. And again, Ronnie Jones-Perry going back to doing what she's done. It's 22-13, the lead for Salt Lake here in the fourth.
Faster pace for Maddie Bug as she got warm. A really fast pace to the outside, and somebody has a fast arm. You're looking at her right there, Jones-Perry.
Do you think that's the difference? Just a faster offense kind of beating that Nebraska block?
You have the players for that.
Scrappy defense as well. Hands are there on again, Kojima. Can Nebraska finish it? Yes, they do, despite Kojima just being everywhere.
Incredible, her range, also her knowledge. She knows where to stand, how to stand, and she does it with grace.
Kojima, the best libero in Japan in 2024. This is the first time she's played out of Japan. Is to come over here to the USA.
Her school of volleyball. As we see that ball going out, they practice for way longer than we do anywhere in the world. They're just training constantly, and their national team is just such a great team to watch play defense. It's insane to watch the Japanese players. As you see a hug there, Kojima and Polter saying, thank you for everything you do for us.
Yeah, thanks for being you. Fair enough. Larson targeted in the reception. Dig again, this time over past Carroll with the jump set. And good work by Nebraska to get out of that rotation. Hansen gets the point.
Nice kill by Hansen. I like what I saw. Carroll touched that ball, and she went straight for that slide. Like, she means business all the time. I like how she transitions so fast.
Hansen in her first season with Love. No pro experience before this. Came right out of Minnesota.
You saw that breath there. I'm a bit nervous. It's my first time in here.
Out of bounds. Salt Lake bring up their first set and match points tonight.
A great day by Lexi Rodriguez. This side was hit so hard that it went to the other side, but she was there.
Maddie